Hello and welcome back. In this video, we'll be continuing our demo. So let's start with the order by method. The order by method accepts one argument, which is the field that we would like to order the list by. So we'll go ahead and create a new Gliderecord object. And we'll order by the short description. And on line 3, we'll go ahead and add the query method. And then we'll simply print the number of the incident, followed by the incident's short description. So we'll copy the script, paste it in the background script, run the script, and here we can see that all of our incidents are in alphabetical order. So by default, the order by method is ascending. So if we want it in descending order, there's actually an order by descending method. So we'll go ahead and apply that now. Copy it, paste it, and run it. And now we can see that it is in descending order. Alright, so now let's go over the setLimit method. The setLimit method accepts an argument, which is an integer, and this will set a limit for the query. So if we only want, let's say, 10 records to show, we would pass in the value of 10, and only the first 10 records would be returned to the Gliderecord. So to test this, we'll actually create a new Gliderecord, and this time we'll provide a table of problem. So we'll be querying the problem table. We'll do problem gr and set limit of 5. So we'll want the first 5 problem records on the problem table. We'll go ahead and query. And then simply print the problem number to the screen. We'll copy and paste, run the script, and you can see here that only 5 problem records are showing due to our setLimit method. We can also combine this with the order by method. So we'll order by short description and retrieve the first 5 records in alphabetical order. We'll actually go back and change the number to the short description so this can be a little more clear to us. We'll copy paste, run it, and now we can see that the short description is in alphabetical order, showing the first 5 problem records. Alright, so now let's quickly run through the can create, can read, can write, and can delete methods. These methods will check the ACLs and verify that the current user can perform these functions. So we'll create a new Gliderecord on the problem table. We'll go ahead and query it. And then after, we'll just do a simple if statement. And we'll do if they can create and if they can read and write. And delete. We'll go ahead and print to the screen I have access to create, read, write, and delete. Now, obviously, if a specific user did not have access to do any one of these functions, then line 4 would not get printed to the screen since we're using AND logic. Alright, now we'll go over the getRowCount method. So we'll go ahead and create a new glide record on the incident table. And we'll just do a simple print of the getRowCount method. We'll copy and paste this into the background script, run it, and you can see that we have a total of 154 incidents on the incident table. Now let's go over the hasNext method. So although the hasNext method sounds similar to the next method, it's actually quite different. The hasNext method returns a Boolean value, either true or false, if there is another record in the array-like object. It's important to note that this does not perform the actual iteration like the next method does. Let's take a deeper look. So we'll create a new glide record on the incident table, query it, and then on line 3 we'll print incident_gr.hasNext. Because we know that there are incidents in the incident table, we can expect to see true printed to the screen. Let's copy and paste this code and run it, and we can see that true is printed. Now we'll actually change the hasNext to next. Copy and paste this in the background script and then run it. So here we can see that we're getting true as well. So it turns out the next method does return a Boolean in addition to iterating to the next object. Alright, so now let's take a look at another example. Oftentimes we'll find the hasNext method in an if condition. Sometimes we want to do a glide record where we only expect one record to be found based on the filter we apply. So if we perform an if condition, such as incident_gr.hasNext, then we know for a fact that we found our matching record. So before we go any further, try to guess what will happen here. Alright, so let's actually copy this code and paste it in the background script and run it, and we can see that we're not getting anything printed to the screen. Strange. So if we go back to the code, we can see that we're using the hasNext method on line 3, which does not perform the actual iteration to the first object in the array. It's just simply returning a Boolean value, true or false, if there is a next value. So even though there is a next value, on line 4 when we try to print incident_gr.number, there's nothing at the pointer, or the actual incident hasn't been iterated to, so there's nothing for us to print. If we were to change this hasNext to simply the next method, then you see we successfully get the number of the first incident in the incident table. Hopefully, now you understand the difference between the hasNext and next methods. Next is what actually performs the iteration to the object in the array. And now to test the hasNext method, we will add a query of priority, and we'll pass in a value we know doesn't exist. So we know that there is not a 0 priority on the incident table, so we'll go ahead and apply this, and when we print hasNext to the screen, and when we print the hasNext method, we should expect to see false. And we do see false here. Now let's revisit the get method. So before, the first time we used get, we passed in the sysid. But as I said before, that as long as we provide a truly unique value passed in the get method, then we can use any field we'd like as well. So in this example, we'll use the number field and we'll pass in a specific incident number, incident 20168. So here you can see that we did retrieve the incident using the number field with get. Now we'll take a look at the getLink method. So the getLink method will retrieve a link to the current glide record. So in this case, we can expect to see the link printed to the screen for incident 20168. And you can see that we have the incident.do $sysid equals the sysid to that incident, followed by some additional parameters. So if I copy this and add this to the URL, you can see that we're taken to this incident record. Now let's test the delete multiple method. For this, we'll actually use the add encoded query method as well. So let's go to the incident table and let's say we'd like to delete all incidents that contain a string of incident space pound. So we'll do short description contains incident pound. And you can see that we have 4 here since we've already deleted the incident number 3 incident using the delete record method earlier. So we'll actually come up here and copy the query and then head to our text editor. So actually, before we delete any records, let's first practice logging these to the screen. So we'll simply add a while loop and we will add the short description of the incident to the screen. Copy the code, paste it in the background script, and you can see that we have the 4 incidents here, incident 1, 2, 4, and 5. So now that we've successfully logged them to the screen, let's go ahead and delete these using the delete multiple method. So one nice thing about the delete multiple is that we don't have to add the query method or the while loop. The delete multiple method actually takes care of all of that for us. So we'll copy this code, paste it in, run the script, and we get nothing back. So it looks to be successful. And to test this, we will actually use the code we just ran to log the incidents to the screen earlier. Copy this, paste it in, and you can see that we're getting no incidents back. Again, to verify this, we'll head to the incidents table and verify that there are no incidents with a short description containing incident space pound. Alright, so we've covered inserting new records and deleting records. Now let's cover updating records. Alright, so before we actually write the code to update a record, let's go to the incident table, select an incident, and we will copy that number. And let's say we want to update the urgency of this record. So you can see this incident currently has an urgency of 3. Let's actually change that to a 2 within our code. So we'll go to our text editor, create a new glide record, use the get method and pass in the incident number. And then on line 3, we'll do incident.gr.urgency equals 2. Now, this hasn't actually been applied yet. So on line 4, we need to actually call the update method. So we'll do incident.gr.update, and this will actually save the changes to the database. So we'll copy and paste that code, run it, and then head back into that incident, and we can see that the urgency is now 2. Now let's run through one more update example. Let's say we would like to update all of the incidents that have an urgency of 2 and update them to have an urgency of 3. So before we do this, let's just simply print all of the urgency 2 incident records to the screen. And you can see we have those here. And now on line 6, we'll add incident.gr.urgency equals 3. And on 7, we'll call the update method. Copy and paste the code. And now we can see that we have no incidents that have an urgency of 2. All right, now let's cover the add null query method. So the add null query method accepts one argument, which is the field that we would like to apply a null query to. So we'll jump into the code and we'll create a new glide record. And then on line 2, we'll say incident.gr.addNullQuery and pass in short description. So what this will do is find all incidents that do not have a short description. In addition to the add null query, there is an add not null query, which is the opposite. It will return all incidents that have some sort of short description.